Coming to you live from the insane asylum after waiting 6 hours for my iPhone 6s. This is Jailbreak Weekly, and I am Justin Wack. With me today, I have my co-hosts, Andy Hoff.
What's up, guys? I got my pink phone here. So I managed to break the first one, and now I have another one. So.
And we also have the man, the myth, and the somewhat legend, David Burns.
Hello, guys. What's
We
going
are
on?
incredibly professional.
Yes, we are.
This is a very professional show, as you all can tell. So let's just say that we've had some major adventures with the iPhone 6s. Today we're kind of just going to talk about our first impressions of the device. Go down the aspects that we like, maybe some things that we don't like. Cough, cough, Andy. Cough,
Yeah.
cough.
Yeah, Andy's got a long story.
You're gonna be here for a long time.
Let's start with the Andy adventure, as we're gonna call it.
The Andy adventure.
The Andy adventure. A cow stepped on Andy's iPhone and it decided that it was gonna shatter. And no, I'm just kidding, guys. But no, okay. So let's start with the Andy adventure. Andy, what exactly happened yesterday?
In times like these, we get excited. We wait on the porch for our phones. We cry. We sob.
I'm pretty sure when you say we, you mean you.
Yep, that's just me. But anyways, so this is what happened. I got my phone. I waited on the porch all day yesterday.
Yes, we were on FaceTime
Yeah.
all day yesterday. He was waiting on his porch. I was waiting in my upstairs, and then our phones came at the exact same time.
Yes.
And I was waiting for
Yeah, I felt so bad for David.
Yeah.
He was waiting for his dad to come home with
yeah.
his phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting in class I was sitting in biology class because I'm not allowed to have my phone out in biology class. So I was sitting in biology class and I was like, oh my god, like this is ridiculous. Like I can't.
I know,
do
it was like
anything.
that for me when I got my 4S, my very first iPhone. But anyway, so what happened, Andy? So you got your phone.
Yeah. So I got my phone. I was so excited. I took it to my room, popped it out of the box, shot a video unboxing. I could barely speak during the unboxing. You should watch that. I'll throw it in the description. But anyways, I got this thing unboxed, and of course it had 9.0. I played with it for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna restore it to 9.0.1. Get a fresh install, the latest version. So I did that, and then it got stuck in recovery mode. It got error 1 in iTunes, and I was like, oh, okay, this sometimes happens. So I'll just click OK, start over, restore it again, just restart the restore. And I got it again. And then I switched computers, updated iTunes, got it again. Went to another computer, got it again. And at this point, I was literally about to give up on life. It was really bad because I literally spent the past 2 days just preparing for this. And the phone was literally bricked. It was stuck in recovery mode. I was like, I cannot believe this is happening. I managed to actually get the phone in my hand on the day. I managed to get past all the supply and demand. And I just break the phone just from restoring it. Normal iTunes function, just a normal function of iTunes that any user should know how to do. And the phone just breaks.
Yeah.
So Andy, I thought you said though that you had something with your SIM cards.
Yeah.
So what happened with that? Something with your SIM?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So before I restored the phone, I took the T-Mobile SIM out because it was a T-Mobile phone, and I put an AT&T SIM in the phone just because I wanted to make sure that the device was unlocked. I always just like to know stuff like that. So I thought I'd see, after it's restored, that I wanted to make sure that it would activate with a AT&T SIM to see if it was unlocked. Because we've heard rumors that they're unlocked, but I just wanted to verify it. And that was what right after I put the SIM in and restored, I got these errors. So I'm not sure if that had something to do with it. I doubt it because even if it had a foreign SIM, even if it wasn't unlocked like I thought it was, I don't think it should have done that. So.
Right. There was probably some type of defect with it.
Yeah.
Right,
So how did you get this issue resolved then? What did you do? Did you just go to the Apple Store and get a new phone?
So basically, yeah, we were supposed to podcast last night, and you guys did. I mean, you guys did a little live stream, which was awesome. And I unfortunately, I tried to fix it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna close my eyes for a minute, get a little rest, because I couldn't get it to, fix. I was just trying to relax myself. But then I unfortunately never woke up. It was 6 a.m. I just woke up and I was like, oh, oops, I said that.
I was like, are we gonna go there? Like,
Yeah, I know. Bleep that out.
Family
Bleep
friendly
that out
show.
Yeah. Just bleep that out in the edit.
Yeah, I'll
It was
do that.
just, yeah. So it was, and I felt really bad because I know you guys wanted a podcast, and I checked my phone and I had like a million messages. And I immediately texted you guys. I said I just conked out dead. I must have just I ran out of energy because I was so excited for the phone. I was nervous that it wasn't going to get delivered. I got it. I was happy. I was so happy. And then I just broke and I just crashed and I was so angry. And my body just had enough. So I just gave up and went to sleep.
I think this is like the one podcast episode where bleeps are actually going to be allowed in the actual podcast and not in because this is like hardcore stuff we're talking about.
This is
hardcore Apple fanboy rage right here. You don't mess with us, like.
Yeah, and you have no idea. Like, if you had seen me, like, you wouldn't have even recognized me. Like, I was.
Yeah. Andy, you were
in bad shape.
You were incoherent in the group message yesterday. Like, you're like.
You're just like, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I don't know how that happened. I don't want to talk about it.
So, okay, so you got a new phone from the Apple Store. Well, that's
well,
good.
Yes. So the next day, I basically just walked. I literally just waltzed into the Apple Store. I talked to this random dude because I had Apple Care with the phone. He basically, I thought I was like sure they weren't gonna have stock because it was rose gold and it was a plus, two rare things. But sure enough, he came back out with this brand new shrink wrapped 6S Plus right in the box, and I was just like, yes.
I honestly think that they keep the like the stock that they use for replacements as separate inventory. I could be completely wrong, but I honestly, because they only give you the phone when they replace it. They don't give you the headphones or the charger or anything like that. So
for me, they gave me a brand new box. It was like it was exactly what I got in the mail. They gave me brand new charger, brand new headphones. It was literally like shrink wrapped, brand new, and I was just shocked. Like,
so pretty much you got like brand new headphones for free.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had to return the other box, so.
Oh, you did? Okay.
But I was just so happy. I came home, unboxed it, and I'm back in business. I can't believe it that it worked out so well for me.
And yet, what are you podcasting on right now, Andy?
He wants to point this out so bad.
My iPhone 5S.
Wait, what was that? Can I hear that again?
It wasn't 6S. It was the generation behind it. What was it?
The two generations behind it. It was my 5S.
Well, and Andy.
No, the generation I'm saying behind the last.
So Andy, you. Yes. So that was the last S phone was the 5S.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and explain this here. So basically, what I do is when I record podcasts with you guys and I record my videos, I use my 5S because it's just like I don't use it for anything iOS related. It's just like my media kind of like radio video thing. So yeah.
Okay. So you had an interesting call with Apple Tech Support. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yes. This was classic. This was classic Andy Hoff right here.
Okay. We need some kind of like epic music right now.
I'll make sure to throw some epic.
Yes.
music.
Okay.
Cue it up right about now.
Cue it up. Yes. Okay.
Cue it up. You're hearing it right now.
It's cute.
Ladies and
You're hearing
gentlemen,
it.
presenting classic Andy Hoff, sponsored by Ultimate iDevice Fans. Go.
So, okay, before I got the new phone, before I went to the Apple Store, I called Apple. I should have said this earlier, but I called Apple, and then I was on the phone with them for an hour, and it's just, and they asked me various questions, like, did you use third-party software? Did you jailbreak? And I was like, jailbreak? I don't think I jailbroke. What is this? Like, I plugged it into iTunes. Does that count as jailbreaking?
So was it actually like a legitimate like phone call, or was it like a chat? Because I know you can go on the website and just chat with like a representative. So
Oh no, it was a phone call. And also I said I took the SIM out. Does that count as jailbreaking?
Oh my god, that is awesome.
I need to ask about their reaction because we need to know about that.
They just laughed. It was like, oh no. Okay, thanks.
You should have, Andy. You should have recorded that.
Yeah, really. I don't know why you didn't record that. That would have been so funny. Like,
I just play so dumb when I talk to Apple. I just like
See,
I feel like I don't even know what phone I have. Like
if I
seriously.
I find the best way to deal with them is to actually play smart, because then they don't waste time with trivial stuff that I've already tried.
I know. I feel like they do anyways though. Like all they did was take me through what I had already done, and obviously that's their procedure. So I'm not gonna hate on them for that.
You're not gonna bash it, yeah.
yeah, it's like the whole thing when I was going through the whole fiasco with my Apple Watch and I had to go and downgrade it. They were like, "Oh, well, you have to go to developer.apple.com to figure this out, and a representative can help you from there." I'm like, why are you telling me this? Like, obviously I know that, like, you need to go to developer.apple.com, but this is too new for it to be on developer.apple.com. Like, there's going to be no documentation of it, so I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I hear you. I know it's like customer support sometimes sends you in loops, but hey, I'm probably going to be working for it someday, so I'm not gonna.
Well, I mean, it's better
I'm
than
gonna hate too much.
Microsoft's or Google's.
definitely, yeah.
Or Samsung's.
But anyways, enough about me. I talked way too much. Let's hear your guys' experience with the 6S launch.
Oh man. So, I went to bed on Thursday night. I slept. I dreamed.
Wait, you got to talk about before you talk about you going to sleep. You have to talk about you packing a bag, thinking. You were
Oh
going to the
yeah.
Apple Store.
Okay. So I had this weird little like brain dead thing where like I kind of I pre-ordered and like I pre-ordered my phone and I kind of just was like, hey, what if my phone doesn't come? I should pack a bag so I can go to the Apple Store and get one and then just get the new phone that I pre-ordered and return it.
And how long did you spend on this, and what time of day did you spend all this time?
So this was at 10 o'clock at night on Wednesday, and I spent about 40 minutes packing a bag with like literally like everything I would need to camp overnight out at the Apple Store. And I have no shame in admitting it, okay?
Wait, so what was your plan? Because so if you didn't get it on Friday, you'd wait online
so my plan was that
Saturday?
if it didn't look like my plan was like if it didn't look like I was going to get it on Saturday, go wait on if it didn't look like I was going to get it on Friday, go wait on Thursday night at the Apple Store and camp overnight there. And then just get the one that delivers to my house on Friday and return it to the Apple Store.
Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's a viable plan.
Fortunately, I did not have to do that. But yeah, so I got my phone at precisely 2:25 p.m. Yes, I do keep track of these things.
Back up a little bit, because you were talking about how you're like going out of order here, because you're talking about now how you fell asleep after that.
Oh yeah, I fell asleep. I woke up. I just got ready, and then I waited for like 6 hours.
Oh yeah, we were all on the line together for a lot of it. So
yeah.
I was on my porch. Justin was waiting.
I was on Skype with you guys afterwards.
Once you got home from school. And it's so funny because our packages literally like came at the exact same time.
Yeah, I was like AFK, and then I came back to hearing like the what was it, UPS? Was it UPS or FedEx or something?
It was UPS. The UPS guy
UPS,
liked my soccer jersey that I was wearing because I'm a Bayern Munich fan, and so was he. So we talked about soccer for like 5 minutes, and the entire time I'm thinking like, just give me my iPhone.
I heard that conversation, Justin.
I heard it too. Well, I came back to hear that. Like, I was AFK on Skype, and then I came back, and I heard you guys talk about soccer. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, this is.
I was honest. Yeah, I was gonna be like, okay, give me my iPhone now, or I shoot you. Like.
Oh, jeez, just. Uh-oh.
No, that was a joke.
That's a law of Justin coming out.
That was a joke. So yeah, I got the phone, opened it up, and wow! All I can say is wow. My impressions of this phone are favorable. At minimum.
Justin, what color, and all that did you?
Oh
get?
Yeah, well, thanks to our loyal viewers who helped me decide the color that I got, I actually ended up getting the gold iPhone, and I got 128 gigabytes of space, and I'm rocking with that right now. I'm loving it. It's working well,
Nice.
and I like having the gold. But we'll get into that a little later. David, what was your experience? So you got your phone when your dad got home, did you?
Yeah, so basically what it actually ended up happening was, I unfortunately I wish it could have happened another way. I wish I could have been, because I would have gotten it, I guess, maybe around the same, or I could have gotten it later. It could have gotten delayed like I hate snows. But I don't really know. So I don't know which one I would have wanted, but I guess I'm glad that my dad got it because it was kind of like guaranteed after, he said he got it. But basically, the whole time leading up to it, my dad was like, all right, like I'm going to go to the Verizon store. I'm going to wait in line like a half hour before the store opens, 45 minutes before it opens. And then, I'm going to go in and I'm going to get you, whatever you want. If they don't have it, I'll get you a different color, whatever the case may be. And yeah, so it'll all be okay. And he seemed really confident, like it was going to happen. So I was like, wow, like I just didn't expect it to, actually end up happening. So what actually ended up happening was, for whatever reason, like Verizon, I don't know if Verizon had stock or not, but like they couldn't help my dad with it because it was like they were gonna have to basically make him pay the $600 instead of subsidizing the phone. So he was like, I'm not doing that. So he went over to Best Buy essentially to get it again, even though like we figured out that we couldn't get it subsidized from Best Buy, but then someone, I don't know, it's just all like really weird, but someone helped us subsidize it from Best Buy, and then he ended up paying very little out of pocket. And all I know, all in all, is that I am looking at it right now. I have the iPhone 6s, regular iPhone 6s, the 64 gigabyte gold. It's the exact one that I wanted. So I got really lucky. I lucked out a lot, definitely, I would say.
Well, it sounds like you got really lucky, David, because Best Buy, that's one of the very few success stories I've actually heard with Best Buy. So it sounds like you majorly lucked out, but that's awesome. So, at this point, now that all three of us have our iPhones, we've had them for a day, with the exception of Andy's little mishap or Andy's adventure. Now that we've all had some time to play with them, what do you guys think?
Fast. This thing is crazy fast. Just like when you switch
Definitely.
apps, that's when I notice it the most. Just like the lag time when you have to wait for an app to kind of go from the background into the foreground is basically gone.
Yeah.
3D touch is pretty cool. It's nothing like huge so far, but it's nice to have. It feels very firm, and just the feel of this phone in your hand, the new metal that they used, and the slightly more heft that it has, it just feels great.
Yeah.
And I love the rose gold as well.
And the
It's
big
perfect.
thing, yeah. Well, another thing that sometimes goes unnoticed is the fact that this thing has 2 gigabytes of RAM in it now, so it doesn't have
Yeah.
1.5 anymore. It's got 2 gig, so
This
that's
is
huge.
this is my dream phone for a couple reasons. A, 2 gigabytes of RAM is something I've been wanting for the last 4 or 5 years. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, but like ever since my 5S, basically. So 2 years. B, the fact that this thing runs iOS 9, which is remarkably stable. Like I notice way less, freezing, way less bugs than iOS 8. Like just everything. I'm loving iOS 9. And C, this thing, the one thing that you guys neglected to mention, the Touch ID
Oh, Touch ID
sensor
is
on this
ridiculous on this
is
thing. Yeah.
insane. Like I was using my 6 yesterday and I was comparing the two Touch IDs. My 6 feels like it takes forever. So I'm really, really happy with that. The processor bump is huge. The 2 gigs of RAM is huge. Um, and yeah, like Andy said, I'm really enjoying the added weight. Actually, I'm really enjoying that. The 6 almost felt too light to me. Like
Yeah,
I couldn't
definitely.
hold the 6 with no case. I can hold the 6S with no case and not worry that it's going to go flying out of my hands.
Right. And
Yeah.
I think like also maybe this is just the weight that I'm feeling here, but it feels like the metal is it feels different in some way. That's probably just the weight again because it's like,
No, it's the metal is
gravity.
different. The metal is different.
It just feels stronger. And when you hold it, it doesn't feel like it's gonna fly out of your hand exactly. It feels more secure. And as multiple drop tests and whatnot have confirmed, this thing is a freaking tank. Like it is so difficult to damage this thing in any way. Like the new glass and the new aluminum on the back just make this thing. This thing's perfect. It's fast. It's durable. It feels good in the hand. It's just, I think this is one of Apple's best phones yet.
But yeah, in summary, I think the iPhone 6s is, one of their most solid phones in years. I mean, look, if not the most solid. I mean, you have, like it seems like with every previous phone, you've had to make concessions. You know what I mean? Like, the only, like for example with the 6, like you had to, deal with the 6 being light and that whole bend gate thing. With the 5S, there was, the redesign of iOS 7. With the 5, there was, let's just not even go into the 5. With the 4S, like there was iOS 5 was slightly buggy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Wasn't there a band issue also with the 4S, or was
No,
it
that was the 4.
It shattered really easy. Like I think there was this problem with the
'cause it
4S's
was glass.
It like freaking exploded.
Yeah,
So,
and with
as soon as
the
you
5,
tapped it, it
yeah.
exploded.
So I mean, look, there's concessions that you've had to make for every release. It seems like with the 6S, the one concession that people may have to make is 16 gigabyte. They have still kept that in there, and unfortunately, as it is, that's still in there. But that's a concession people have had to make every year previously anyway. So
I've always made it.
So because of that, I would call this release, one of the most solid ever. But that's just my reasoning. I don't know. Where do you guys place this kind of on the, spectrum, if you will, of iPhone releases?
I think this is definitely up there. Like last year, they had a significant amount of profit and market share last year, but I think that was more of the fact that they introduced the 6 Plus and it appealed a lot more to Android users that were looking for a bigger device.
Even the 6, yeah. Because I know the 6 sold more.
The size difference definitely made a difference. Yeah.
What about you, Andy?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I completely agree. The only problem that people have been talking about, which is kind of it's a half joke, is the Touch ID. The Touch ID sensor has improved so much that when you push the home button, it literally unlocks the phone without even you having to hold it there for a minute. And if that's literally the only complaint, that the fact that it's too advanced and too fast, I think that's a success. I don't know.
I wonder if they could make it have a delay. I wonder if they could add that into settings to make Touch ID have a slight delay.
Yeah, so you could check the time or check your notifications, but
sorry,
yeah.
I had to laugh when Andy said 6S.
Why?
Do you not get it? It's a joke within itself. The iPhone 6S.
Success. Well, I guess you could say it was a pretty successful release.
Cheesy music insert there. Okay.
There you go.
I'll know to go back and do that.
That's how we do it.
There you go.
So, I mean, look, this is, this looks like it's going to be an incredible year for iOS, an incredible cycle. iOS 9 is finally here. The 6S is on track. The 6S Plus is on track. This is all just, everything is just incredible right now and stable, and I could go on, but at the end of the day, we are a jailbreaking podcast, and I think it is important to talk about the benefits of a jailbreak. Where would you guys most like to see a jailbreak in iOS 9 right now? Like, if you could have one feature that you could add to iOS 9 with a jailbreak, what would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one, but it's fun to think about. It's just really fun to think about. David, you have anything off the top of your head when I try to figure something out in my head?
You had to say me first, didn't you?
Well, again,
the one time I have nothing to say.
Okay, well, I have something. I can go first and give you guys some time to think.
I really can't think of anything right now.
The thing I would love to see, and this will probably come sooner rather than later, is with Activator, a low power mode toggle. It's incredibly annoying to go into settings, go to your battery settings, and toggle it. No. Yeah. Why can you not put that in Control Center, or why can you not put that in Activator? Why does it have to be standing out here in settings? No, just that's not like.
That's
or
a
like,
perfect one. Yeah.
why can't you 3D touch, for example, on your status bar to go into low power mode or something? Like, that's the kind of thing where, a jailbreak still has merit.
See, I wanted to point something out real fast, and I think a jailbreak could help with this also. So it's actually really funny because when we were coming up with, when the entire community itself, not the jailbreaking community, but just the entire rumor community, iOS community, Apple community, was coming up with ways that 3D touch, when we were trying to envision it on the iPhone, on the new iPhones, they were like, oh, well, you could force touch on Control Center to bring up, you could force touch on the Wi-Fi toggle on Control Center to bring up the Wi-Fi settings. You can force touch on the, little map area to drop a pin. Like, the things that they were talking about with concepts never actually came to be in the final product, which I actually think is kind of funny. So something I would actually like to see is that, and I think this definitely will happen, especially since we have Ryan in the community who is a powerhouse with these kind of things. So I definitely think he's probably going to implement this at some point somehow with Activator, being able to just assign force touch with different things. And I think he has some kind of Control Center tweak.
Yeah, the only thing that would be difficult on that is you would have to, like, force touch. You'd have to specify where you force touch, so, like, on an application or on, like your status bar or Control Center, like that would be, but it definitely could be done, and I could very well see it being done. And guess what? We've just been using force touch for the last 5 minutes. But so Andy, what about you? Like, if you had to change one thing with the jailbreak right now, what would it be?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, like my go-to, like one of my favorite tweak setups these days is the OXO3/Tage setup. And I know that's not really innovative because obviously it's not really using any of the new features, but obviously whenever I have my device, I just like to have the ability to close an app by swiping up from the right side, and then swipe from the left side to have the quick switcher and lock the device just by swiping down on the home screen, which is as lock. But
Yeah.
in terms of like innovative stuff, new stuff, like for example, low power mode, like that's a perfect one, just right in Control Center. And in terms of other options that I'd like to like change, I'm kind of drawing a blank. I kind of want my my go-to tweaks on my 6S because it's such a powerhouse. I just kind of want to have it all,
Well, and I mean that's the other thing as well. We can sit here and talk about all day like the kind of things we would like to see. And I guess would this be with a jailbreak, or would this be with stock iOS with incremental updates? Because the whole force touch, or I'm saying force touch now, the whole 3D touch, where I was talking about, it's not like that couldn't be done by Apple as well. Like it probably would be easy for them to implement because it's their own technology. So I don't think that they couldn't do it, but I don't know if they will. So I'm wondering if that's something we're gonna have to wait for the community to to make, or if that's something that Apple will actually go ahead and release.
Yeah. It's funny. I have two more things that I thought of. If a jailbreak comes out before iOS 9.1, someone really needs to import the middle finger emoji. Like,
I think someone already did, actually.
Yeah, technically it's already been done. It just
it's already been done. Okay.
It just doesn't work 100% properly yet. Like I have it on both my. Yeah.
Oh, really? You tested that? Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
There needs to be a middle finger emoji.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I thought of, this might be kind of a nice one, is with the app switcher. I just thought of another one, actually. So I thought of a couple. With the app switcher, force touching on, or 3D touching on the app switcher, and having a close all button there or something like that. I think
definitely, yeah. That could be implemented very, very easily with the jailbreak.
Yes. And the other thing,
OXO too, like how you swipe up on the home screen card.
Kind of similar, yeah. And then the one other thing I would really like to see implemented is with news. You know how the news is in like your spotlight or whatever? Right now they have like some news. I would love to see a tweak that replaces that with the latest however many tweets you have on your Twitter feed.
That'd be
Um,
interesting.
I
Yeah.
It's like
think
in
that would be
Telescreen X.
awesome.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think that'd be awesome.
I was actually just thinking of something too. What I think would be, and I know like iOS is different in the fact that normally it doesn't have this, but what I think would be really cool is if somehow they were able to implement, and I know this is something that people have requested for a long time, but I think it makes sense because of the Apple News app now, and maybe it's just for Apple News, or they brought it up to add it for different things, but it makes sense for Apple News so that way you're able to go about doing stuff not by getting your news from swiping down or swiping to all the way to the left to access Spotlight or go inside the actual app. You can
Yeah.
actually have the information straight on your home screen via like a widget or something. I think that would be, and that would be probably very easy to do with the jailbreak again, but I think that would be probably really cool for Apple to go ahead and implement.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, like I just think that, there's so much potential for jailbreak tweaks right now. And I think that, with iOS 9, like the fact that I've been using it for a day and already can't wait to jailbreak, it really signifies where my head's at right now. Personally, with jailbreaking, like I can't live without it. It's,
Yeah.
and like with the new features in iOS 9 comes new add-ons that, I think would be very, very useful. Um, so I think overall a jailbreak for iOS 9 at this point would be absolutely fantastic.
So do you think the iOS 9 jailbreak, when and if that, well, we know it's obviously going to happen eventually, but when that does happen, do you think it's kind of going to be one of these, jailbreaks that we've had, the few jailbreaks that we've had previously, the Chinese jailbreaks with Taiji and Pangu, all of them? Do you think it's going to be like that, where they kind of release it so that they might release it next week or 2 weeks from now, 3
I
weeks
don't
from
know.
now? I
I don't
mean,
know. And
do you
for the
think
record,
it's?
we don't actually know 100% that it's coming.
I know.
I
Well,
think that it's gonna take a little bit longer, maybe towards like December to like
I
March
yeah,
because
I
it's
don't think
iOS
it's going to be
9.
35 days like it was with 8. But
But I could be wrong. Who knows?
So
There's a
you
lot of
think kind
people.
of like an Evasion 7 type of situation where it's a few days
Yeah,
before Christmas?
yeah, I'd place bets on like a Evasion 7 types. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
it's
Or
because it's
dated,
like
sorry.
it's like a yes, it's extremely difficult, but with iOS 6, the reason it took so long was because the whole monetary interest wasn't necessarily as high then, but now with all these new jailbreaks with
Well,
the
and
teams have monetary interests, yeah, there's a
they
lot of people
redid their
trying.
security from the ground up in 6 too.
Yeah, I mean, with iOS 9, I think there's like kernel patch protection and some other stuff that's going to be pretty difficult to bypass. But
Right.
again, there's a
The,
lot of people working on it, so we have that on our
yeah,
side.
there's a good chance to get around it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, any last thoughts, guys? Any last words, questions, thoughts?
Nah, not that I can think of.
I don't think so. I love my pink phone, despite all of the insanity I went through to actually get one
Yeah,
working.
I meant to ask though. So we do know that you got the rose gold, or in other words, the pink iPhone. Do you think that that was definitely, you have? I saw on Twitter it said like something like hashtag no regrets or whatever you ended up tweeting about it. So you have no regrets about buying the rose gold. You definitely think it's a solid color.
Yeah, zero regrets at all. In fact, it's not like hot pink. It's more like it's kind of like light red, copperish. Like it depends on the light. Sometimes it looks really pink. Sometimes it looks like reddish. It's interesting. It's like half copper. I don't know. It's a new, different color. So I like it. It's good.
Yeah, I still probably wouldn't get it myself, but I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat, right? So,
Yeah.
Whatevs. Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to shout both of us out collectively. We did make unboxings, as Andy referenced I think it was last week he referenced that, and he also referenced it earlier on in the podcast that he made an unboxing. I
Yeah.
also made an unboxing for the success, although I kind of got mine delayed a little bit. It wasn't really like it kind of was my fault. It was just like I was super tired and I just like couldn't work on it anymore. And I was up pretty late last night, so I was like, I'm just gonna get it done in the morning when I wake up. And I got it done. I knocked it out, and I published it. So I'm glad about that. But both my unboxing and Andy's unboxing is live. And I know sometimes we have similar videos where it's like, it's not really anything's different, but I have the gold, he has the rose gold, and he got the plus, and I got the regular one. So
yeah, it's worth watching both.
Yeah, so if you're like, oh, well, why would I watch both? Because it's like going to be the same thing inside. We got different models, so it's.
And also,
it's
I could barely speak, so.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched yours, Andy. Yours was good. David, I didn't watch yours yesterday because I watched them yesterday, so I'll watch yours once we're done the podcast. But yeah, no, Andy, I watched yours and yours was good. So.
Yeah, thanks. And also, I'll have much more success content. I'm gonna do some top features and all that.
Yeah.
So
I'll be uploading. Me as well. I'm working on actually because I saw how good it went over. I'm working on a speed test video as well for the iPhone 6s, and what I'm gonna do is I'll install Geekbench and kind of break down with a few tests, going through Safari and loading up pages and going through YouTube, loading up some different videos and all that kind of good stuff. So
you know what I was gonna do for my speed test is I'm gonna do I might do a podcast actually on this for Cool Blind Tech, the site that I podcast for as well. I was gonna probably do a 6S Geekbench test, a 6 Geekbench test, a 5S Geekbench test, and just to see how slow it is. A 3GS Geekbench test as well with iOS 5.
Yes, even run Geekbench. I wonder if it does.
I don't know if it does.
Oh yeah, it doesn't run on anything past 6, I believe.
It doesn't. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. I'll have to use my 4th gen iPod then instead, with 6 on it, and I would love to see how slow. Like, I'll bet you the 6S is 3 times the speed that 4th gen iPod is. Like, there's a very good chance that 6S is 3 times the speed.
I actually have an iPhone 2G, like in mint condition.
Wow.
Literally like less than a foot away from me right now. Like, I have my 6S Plus here, so I'm really tempted to just like shoot
What does
a video.
that even run? What does that even run?
3.1.3.
Wow.
Jailbroken with Jailbreak Me. Yeah.
Wow.
Good old days.
2.0.
That is an artifact.
And it's in mint condition, so I'm hoping it's gonna make me rich someday. So
that is an artifact.
I'm gonna hold on to
buy
it.
That?
For $2,000.
Yeah, as if.
Hey, one day it's gonna be worth millions. So.
Good one. Okay, maybe, but I highly doubt it.
I wouldn't hold on. I wouldn't hold up for that, Andy.
It just went up to $4,000 just when you were talking about this. So make your decision. $5,000, $6,000.
Yeah, no. I'm
okay. Good. So I just want to talk about one of the new Cydia tweaks, and this ties in with the 6S as well. It's PhotosLive. It's available for $1.99 in the Cydia Big Boss repo. It's by Elias Limneos. And basically, PhotosLive ports the live photos feature from the iPhone 6S and 6S Plus back to your jailbroken devices. So we didn't really talk about live photos in this episode, but me and David have been playing with it. And basically, on the 6S, you take a photo and you have the little option enabled in the camera app, and each photo is its own little kind of like GIF animation. So it's it's a normal photo, but if you force touch on the photo when you're looking at it, it will quickly give you a little GIF animation, like a little mini video of when you took that picture. And also, when you swipe between the pictures, it's going to give you a little preview of that as well. Obviously, all the other devices do not get this functionality, but if you're jailbroken, you install this, it ports pretty much that exact functionality. So basically, in the camera app, you have a very similar toggle at the top for live. It's not exactly the same, but you enable live, you take a photo, and it provides that GIF animation. However, of course, because these older devices don't have the force touch, basically it's just whenever you click on a photo, it just automatically animates for you, and you don't even have to force touch. And of course, when you swipe, it animates as well. But it's great to have the. It is sweet, yeah. It's awesome, if you're jailbroken, to be able to bring back this functionality. To your device without even updating or without even losing your jailbreak. It's just awesome. So again, PhotosLive, available in Cydia Big Boss repo for $1.99. Definitely check it out if that sounds like something you want to do.
Well, guys, I think that wraps this episode up. As always, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, always nice to talk about our iPhone 6s drama. Good
Oh
stuff.
yes,
Yeah.
oh yes, the soap opera, the 6S soap opera of Andy's existence has come
What
to a
will happen
close.
next? Tune in next week to learn about Andy's iPhone.
Yeah, who knows what'll happen next week? Maybe I'll manage to like blow it up or something somehow. So
Next
stay tuned.
Next on
Next
Andy's
time on
iPhone.
Jailbreak Weekly.
Andy's iPhone got stepped on by a cow.
And a
is
foghorn
currently-
blew it away.
and is currently scattered on several different beaches around the world, including in Thailand.
We'll see. We'll just have to see. You just
Yes,
never
we
know.
will. Okay, guys. Well, can't wait to talk about all of Andy's iPhone adventures and the rest of our jailbreaking iPhone and other adventures next week. As always, thank you guys so much for coming, and thank you for listening. And we'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys all
See you guys. Bye.
Adios. Adios.
adios.
Yeah, I think that was pretty successful, guys.
We messed up a lot while recording this episode. Here are some bloopers, and as always, enjoy.
Recording in 3, 2, 1. Coming to you live from the bedroom of the lazy comedian hillbilly who can't even walk 5 feet to get to his studio. This is Jailbreak Weekly, episode number 12. Today with me, I have my co-hosts, Andy Burns and David Hoff.
You said our names back.
I know, because I didn't want to put either of you first or last, so I had to do that.
You introduced us, but
Andy
like
Burns.
but
Andy
people
Burns and David Hoff. Just kidding, guys. I have my co-hosts. Okay, that's gonna have to go in bloopers.
Yeah, we'll throw that in.
Okay. Coming to you live from the bedroom of the
Okay,
lazy.
that's been bloopers too.
You actually gonna
Andy
do that?
interrupted that.
I can't take it seriously.
Coming to you live from the hospital.
It was like there's like a long pause there. It's like what's going on?
Okay. Ready.
Yeah.
Coming to you live from the hospital after waiting
Oh my god! Why did I have a feeling that was gonna happen? I just was like,
Yeah,
he is definitely gonna do that. Some interruption, either a foghorn or a cow.
You suck. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Coming to you live. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Awesome.
Hold up, guys. 1 sec. I gotta get Kleenex.
No problem.
Okay.
Actually, I do too. Come to think of it.
My
Yeah,
nose
I
is
thought
running.
Yeah.
My nose is running.
Kleenex break. Kleenex break.
Yeah.
This episode of Jailbreak Weekly is brought to you by Kleenex. Always keep your nose snot free.
The big thing too about this, which not many people end up highlighting, is the fact that this thing got the. I wanted to do that so badly. And
Just do it again. It's all good.
Yeah. Okay.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, ABC.
That was awesome.
I'm totally putting that in as a blooper.
No. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testing, ABC.
Hold up, okay. Quiet
You
for a
like
second.
all know it by now.
Quiet for a sec, let me make sure. No, it's still. Okay, wait. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. CDE. Whoa. Game changer. Whoa.
Mind equals blow.
Okay, guys. Well, I think that wraps this podcast up. As always, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys today.
Oh, you're probably supposed to answer. I was like, if you're gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
before, like,
I'm sorry. Okay.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's okay because we can just end that. I'll just quickly.
Okay, reset.
Yeah,
Well,
I
guys.
I was gonna talk.
Yeah, I was gonna
gonna
talk.
talk.
It's my turn. Ugh.
What are we
Yeah.
in first grade?
Justin, you hurt my feelings.
Andy,
Teacher,
you
teacher,
breached my
teacher.
Minecraft server. You're not my friend anymore.
Teacher, you hurt my feelings.
Okay, guys. Okay, here we go. Reset. Okay, guys. Well, I think that wraps up this show. As always, it's been a pleasure.
Oh my
Really?
god, I did it again.
Really? Really?
Well, I would have. Okay. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, reset. Well, guys, I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. As always, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. I was like, say something. I'm giving up on you.
Andy, this is all your fault. The fact that this just turned into a blooper because you didn't say anything after I was like,
Justin kind of interrupted me.
It all no because
Justin,
I
this
said
is your fault.
I said reset and I was gonna start and you're like, "Ugh," and I'm like, oh okay. Anyway, okay.